Welcome to my UMUC DATA620 assignment 9.1. I am Eric Barrero. To start, I'm going to be quickly describing the datasets used in this project, talking about their fields and how they're important. Then I'm going to go into the description of the time series and the trends, which I will be presenting 5 graphical representations of the data obtained from software called Tableau. Then I'll be talking about background factors and their interactions with the data, quickly describing the story of what's happening over time, and give a few predictions of the data looking forward past the time series present. The data used in this assignment is video game sales. The main data I'm working with is some data scraped off of the site vgcharts.com. The data itself contains video games that had more than 100,000 copies sold. The second dataset is from a review site called IGN. It contains extra information which I use within this assignment, such as IGN's numeric score of a video game. I did an inner join procedure to mesh the two datasets together, which gave me more fields to work with. So why video game sales? Well, first of all, we can get an understanding of how it benefits people in general, because research shows that video games in general can improve a child's learning, health, and social skills. Second, we can see how the field grows and becomes more integrated within our society. Streamers and video editors have created themselves a very successful career path with a predicted $300,000 a year salary. Third, we'll see new technologies develop, such as virtual reality, and these will impact multiple industries. Looking at the VG charts data, we can see several fields that are interesting, such as sales, genre, publisher, the year that the game was released, and platforms such as PC, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo. Looking at IGN's dataset, we can see that we have data present such as score phrases, a numeric score, genre again, release year, month, day, etc. So let's take a quick look at these graphs that I have in this presentation. The first is a bar chart of the number of records across the years. What I mean by this is simply how many video games were released over the years. We can see a nice curve upwards to about 2008 or 2009, where there's a peak, and then a trend downwards to present day. The next graph is a scatter plot of scores across the years. So each dot represents a video game, and we can see its score and the year it was released. The trend line overlaid on this graph is trending upwards, so we can see that the quality of games have improved over the years according to IGN. Next, we have a line chart, which simply shows the running total of global sales across the years, and it's grouped by publisher, so we can easily identify what publishers are on top of the video game industry. Some of these publishers include Electronic Arts, Nintendo, and Activision. Next, we have a Pareto chart of the running total of global sales across the years. These are grouped by genre. The top 3 are the top 20% of all the genres included in this data. The next chart is also a Pareto chart of the running total sales, but they're grouped also by North America, Europe, and Japan. And we can see how Japan has slightly different top 20% than Europe and North America. So what kind of background factors are we dealing with? Well, one of them is called hype, and that is a marketing technique to help improve sales by getting people excited for the game. Another one is release times with consoles, because that could affect it. We have some bias in the data, which is we are only using IGN's review scores and not any other sites. And we have a simplification of some of the fields, such as genre. So what's the story with this data? We can see that sales have increased over time. We have well-defined genres. We have well-defined publishers. The number of video games over the years have decreased a little, but the quality has stayed positive. So what predictions do we have? Well, let's look at each graph individually. The bar chart shows that the number of video games are declining, but I suspect that it'll start to balance out and head upwards in a positive trend, just because it doesn't make sense for video games to actually go negative in terms of production. Looking at the scatter plot, I suspect that the trend is correct and we'll continue to see quality games released. The line chart, which is grouped by publisher, will continue to show that the top publishers will remain on top. However, there may be a few publishers that could surpass other ones. Looking at global sales, I suspect that we'll continue to see the top 3 trends stay at the top. Similarly, looking at North America, Europe, and Japan sales, we'll continue to see the trends dominate, but it'll be interesting to look at how Japan's culture is defined by the video games that it likes and produces, since the genre is different than North America and Europe. Thank you for taking the time to watch this presentation. At the end of the PowerPoint are all the sources I've used, and all the links for the pictures are found in the notes of the PowerPoint.